Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Rankovich. I'm the President and CEO of Certica Solutions. It's great to sort of hear about all these applications at the conference here and the great advances in innovation. We're also hearing another theme at this conference, interoperability and data integration. So we're a company that focuses on those 2 points, interoperability and integration between these applications. I'll give you a little journey on the company's history. Just a little bit of high-level information. We're actually headquartered in Wakefield, Massachusetts, which is just north of Boston. We're growth equity funded. New Harbor Capital out of Chicago is our investor. We brought them on board about a year or so ago after having been venture funded for a handful of years prior to that. We work with partners that are providers and vendors in the space, application providers largely, some publishers. A couple of hundred plus of those kinds of companies are our customers, and we have about 600 direct education agencies, so districts and state education agencies, educational service agencies as customers as well. But I'll talk about our go-to-market model here shortly in terms of being a platform as a service to the vendor community to sort of power the integration and interoperability of their applications. We have a little over 75 employees and, as I mentioned, headquartered in Massachusetts, but we have offices in Cincinnati, Ohio, Austin, Texas. So going back to the early days of our company, right around the turn of the century, the company was founded, and we started out as a consultant to the U.S. Department of Education in the area of data collection. So over a few years, we really became proficient as a company in the area of student and K-12 data. In the 2006 timeframe, we launched a particular application that filled a school district need around compliance and regulatory reporting of data to their state education agencies and through to the Federal Department of Education. That product's called Certify. Was really the cornerstone of the business that we used to build the company on during the late 2000s. As we came into sort of the next decade here, and the decade we're in right now, we added another application in the area of testing, and then we realized really that actually the concept of application suites between multiple applications by one vendor into school districts for a lot of the back office and a lot of the instructional and educational systems, was not really a viable proposition in a marketplace where there's considerable innovation and a highly fragmented vendor landscape, and that most school districts want the choice and the innovation of the applications that we're seeing here today, even on this very stage, but there is a big underlying problem in the plumbing between all of those applications. So we recognized that and decided to sort of embark on a transformation of our own business into a platform as a service company. I'll describe a little bit about that here in a minute. We felt that we had some unique skills as an organization and expertise in various areas, particularly the area of data management and software as a service applications, and obviously a lot of depth in terms of understanding the applications in the space, which was built on the back of our certified product and sort of a need to understand the data that's used for regulatory reporting purposes. So at the start of 2015, we embarked on some strategic acquisitions. We acquired a business from NWA, which is a formative assessment item bank business, so bringing content expertise and content technology into the company. Started 2016, we acquired a company called Academic Benchmarks that brought metadata, descriptive metadata expertise and technology and talent into the company. And later last year, we acquired a company called Educuity, which is a small company founded by the original 2 architects of the EdFi data standards that were built for the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. We put all that together under the umbrella of a platform as a service we call Certica Connect. And the way to think about Certica Connect is a platform that allows you to centralize, store, and manage sort of elements of education information, structured data, content, and metadata in an integrated fashion. And so there are the concept of data APIs and content APIs and metadata APIs in the platform, but there's also functional APIs in the platform that allow other application vendors to build applications on sort of integrated functionality within our platform. So, just to sort of talk about who we engage with. A large amount of our partners are K-12 vendors, so anything from a content publisher and assessment system vendor all the way through to the SIS vendors and various LMS systems that want to access either functional capability in the services in our platform or actually data integration and content and metadata integration capability. And we do have education agencies as well, certainly some of the mega districts and state education agencies who integrate around the platform or use services like Certify from within the platform. Just quickly, I'm not going to go through sort of all these slides, but multiple use cases of our platform. I think one of the things we've seen over the last few years is people understanding more about the concept of APIs and callable functionality, and such as something like Learnosity or data integration APIs like Clever. Those are single point solutions that are actually very powerful in and of themselves, but they address usually one use case. And what we've done here in terms of assembling the platform excuse me, is to provide a whole range of services in the platform that are integrated on the back end, so they serve multiple use cases, particularly in an integrated fashion. So the concept of accessing data not just for rostering, for example, but for analytics, and then returning that data into the student system from assessment systems. Good use case. Publishers who want to actually enrich the content that they create through extended metadata, taxonomies, learning standards, etc., and make that searchable into other applications, another great use case. School districts who have a plethora of applications, 20 to 50 applications, that some homegrown, some commercial products that they want to integrate around, they can integrate through our platform. Rendering and scoring test questions in an assessment system, another use case that's powered by a platform. A few metrics, we have, as I mentioned, 800 vendors and agencies as partners. We have a whole 4 million students, 150 million records processed in the platform, etc. I'll end on this slide. I won't actually read all through this, but the way we've constructed it is to really let all the various constituents in the industry be winners in this. Thank you very much.